Good morning and welcome to the Birmingham Area Cable Board meeting for Wednesday, May 20th, 2026. George, can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It's loud? Am I blowing your ears off? He just told me to talk into the microphone, so I'm trying to listen. Okay. Item 1, roll call. Gail, could you call the roll?
Rick David. Deanna Brown.
Here.
D.E. Hageman.
Here.
Jim Cleary.
Here.
David Ike. George Abraham.
Here.
Pete McDonald.
Here.
Ray Camus. Gil Gugney.
Here.
Chris Dobie.
Here.
And Bill Frickman.
Okay, we have a quorum, barely, but we do have a quorum, so we can proceed. I'd just like to announce that we do have a new member who was just approved, a Mr. Darby Hadley for the city of Birmingham. And he couldn't join us today, but he will be here in July, so we'll officially welcome him then. Okay, item number 2, approved minutes for our last cable board meeting of March 18th, 2026. Can I have a motion, please?
So move.
Motion by Mr. Hageman, seconded by Jim Cleary. Any discussion necessary? Any corrections? Anything that we need to do for the minutes? Okay, there being no further discussion, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Item number 3, public comments. Don't believe we have anyone from the public.
There's Robert Booth here.
Well, you're an official. Official.
Public comments, I didn't see my comments reflected in the minutes, just FYI. But I don't, not that it matters, I just thought, perhaps, are we on TV, by the way?
We are.
Okay. Well, then they can see that if people really want to see what I have to say.
Okay, well, welcome, Mr. Aboud. We're glad you're here.
Very much.
Item number 4 is the municipal request for the Franklin Public Library. Do we have somebody from the library? Okay. Item number 5 is the PEG grant request from the Village of Beverly Hills Parks and Rec. We do have somebody from Parks and Rec. Why don't you come up? I'm going to address this item and a couple of others, but since you're here,
okay.
And your name, please.
Hi, my name is Carissa Brown, the village clerk for the Village of Beverly Hills.
Carissa.
So I'm here on behalf of our Parks and Recreation Board. They want to seek a grant to host our movie in the park event or get assistance with our movie in the park event. So since 2022, we host a movie in the park where we provide popcorn, we have a movie, and the kids can come watch the movie. For years, we use a regular screen, but when you use a regular screen, you have to have darkness. And it's hard to host an event with children and the parents are calling and they're asking what time the event started, and it's like at sunset. And our event is in August. So a lot of times we don't get as many people as we want because they don't know what time it starts. And then the event starts late a lot of times, and they leave early, the people with smaller children. So we want to get an LED screen this year, which is a little more pricey than the screen that we normally receive. So we're just seeking assistance.
And we approved it, I believe, last year also.
So last year we did get a grant from Oakland County. So this is our first year coming for this.
I'm pretty sure we did this for you last year. My memory's not great. Okay. But, okay. Thank you. Items 4, 5, and 8, which all require the approval of money, we're going to have to table this month. You'll see that, I'm not addressing you now, I'm addressing the board. You'll see that we have a budget to approve today, and Rick David was going to do a presentation on our budget, but he is unavailable today. So before we approve any more monies for this upcoming year, Rick's going to present where he believes we are financially. So we can't approve it today, but we're coming back in July, which if we approve it, it'd still give you another month.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thank you.
And thank you, Ms. Brown, for coming today.
Thank you.
Pete?
Thanks, Gil. Chris, I just wondered, is it for a one-time rental on that
Yes.
event, or is it to own? Or
It's just one time. We don't have the storage to keep a screen.
event?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Then my question, even for Steve, is does BCTV have anything that would help on something like this?
We don't have
Would you think of maybe purchasing one and then being able to rent it out for things like this?
It's something we could look into. I'm not personally familiar with how much those cost or what the storage would look like. We could get together and talk.
It sounds like with all the audio visual and so forth, you would probably have all that. Now, do we just add a screen and then a way to transport and put it up? It was a thought I had in my notes that, and therefore then you could have more than just one meeting. You could have a couple of times, which again, maybe even get more community involvement, but at a less cost.
I don't know what these screens cost, but basically you're saying that rental's $3,600.
Yes.
And you want us to pay for half of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And the city of Birmingham does the same thing, but they must have a similar type of screen, because at least last year, it was quite late. You know, at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, whatever time the sun goes down. But I don't know if they're renting or purchasing or what have you. I can find out.
How big is the screen?
Oh, it will be, sorry. It's 15 feet wide. I'm not sure what the length is.
It's what now?
It's 15 feet?
10 by 15.
15. Okay.
Wide. 15.
Wide, I'm sorry, wide, yeah.
Why,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a big screen.
Nice. Can we get it for like the Final Four?
You want to watch the Final Four from the park?
Restart.
Whatever's on, you know?
March.
That's a nice.
Okay, Ms. Brown, thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it very
All right,
much.
Thank you.
We will be back in touch, too.
Oh, thank you. You guys have a-
All right, we're going to skip then to item number 6, which is the approval of the Personnel Committee recommendation bonus for our Executive Director. Dave Ike is the head of the Personnel Committee. He's out of the country right now. We have Jim Cleary here, who's also a member of the Personnel Committee. So, Jim, you want to take this item?
Yeah, we want to vote on it, I suppose, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm all for it, that's for sure, and we got almost unanimous.
So the item basically is, what the Personnel Committee is recommending is that in lieu of a raise, that Kathy White, our Executive Director, be given a one-time $1,000 bonus. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. All right, so let's start with a motion. Can I have a motion to approve the recommendation of the Personnel Committee?
So move.
Deanna Brown moves. Could I have a second?
I'll second that.
A second from Mr. Hageman. Any further discussion on this? Okay, no further discussion. Then, Gail, could you call the roll, please?
Deanna Brown,
Yes.
D.E. Hageman,
Aye.
Jim Cleary,
Yes.
George Abraham,
Yes.
Pete McDonald,
Yes.
Gil Gugny,
Yes.
Chris Dobie.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. Kathy, we're very happy that we can give you this bonus.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay, item number 7 is the one that we're going to put aside until Rick addresses the board on the budget. And we're going to go into item 8, which is the annual budget for fiscal year 2026, 2027. So I'm going to turn that over to Kathy. You should all have a copy of the proposed budget in your packets that I would ask that you please turn to.
You all have in your packet a comparison between the current budget and the line item amounts and the proposed budget for our fiscal year that starts July 1. I've had discussions both with Gil and with Rick David about this. At the suggestion of Rick David, knowing that a lot of people are still continuing to cut the cord and our revenues keep going down, we've reduced our proposed revenues, both in the franchise fee and the PEG categories, by 10%. As far as board expenses, in those categories where I looked historically, where for the past year we did not spend what we had budgeted, I reduced amounts where appropriate. I don't know if there's anything really to comment on that, although you'll notice our auditing fee has gone down by about half, based on the fact that we switched and had the new auditor, which I've been very happy with, and so I think that that reduction will continue, hopefully, for the next fiscal year. I'm happy to answer any questions about any of the board expense items that you might have. The administrative grant number is just, the 72,000 there is just based on what we paid this past year. That's going to fluctuate depending on what the auditors have to say. And they look at franchise fees that were spent and not spent and try to return those to the communities if we can. Based on Rick's analysis next meeting, we don't even know if we'll be able to do those administrative grants next year. As I said, our revenues just keep shrinking. As far as PEG operations, we have budgeted some monies in there for equipment, for the truck, and for the studio, and those were based on discussions with BCTV as to what they think their needs might be. Other than that, I don't know if there's anything else of note, but again, I'd be happy to answer questions you might have.
The only thing that I noticed was the cable contract, I think that's for BCTV, is up 10% from 308 to 340.
That, well, yes, because the last half of, it will go up presumably depending on what we do with the new contract. So we kind of, put some flexibility in there for that.
Okay.
The big number, obviously, is the last one, the deficit of $141,000.
Right.
Yeah.
And again, our revenue numbers that we project are very conservative. Most years, we do end up receiving more revenue than we budgeted for, but our practice has always been to be conservative with respect to revenues, and I think it's been a good policy for us. It's worked well.
So Rick David has really been spending a lot of time with these numbers, and he again expressed his concern about it, but he's also sorry he couldn't be here today because he's going to have a pretty good all-inclusive presentation on how we should move forward with a budget like this. So that's why he asked that we kind of put a moratorium on any expenditures today or grant requests, approving them. So hopefully after we listen to Rick, decide what direction we want to go in, we'll be able to figure out where we are. But again, looking at these numbers, and they're conservative, okay? But our position isn't great right now. Okay, Kathy, thank you for your work on
You're welcome.
the budget.
And thanks to Rick, too. He's been great.
Okay, committee reports, Cable Action Committee, George.
I'm afraid to turn this on. Is there a lot of feedback?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we, we had a short meeting after the last meeting, and we talked about primarily everything was about the website, and we Kathy went back, Kathy was going to, she did send them a letter asking them to revise it downward if possible. They did. They came back with another proposal, which was very similar to option one of the first proposal for, that was $5,400. But they also included in that, which they hadn't originally included, transitioning all the materials in a current website over to the new website. So I guess we'll talk about that in the next meeting.
Yeah. Well,
So other than that, there's nothing else.
I will say this, Kathy and I had a conference call with the owner of the company and one of his key people, and I thought that they were very receptive to our situation, and they were willing to go down from their original numbers, but one of the things that they wanted to, again, emphasize to us was that they had been doing our work for us for how many, 6 years? 6 or 7 years.
Been a while, yes.
And they have never asked for an increase. So, understood. But anyway, we'll talk about this more in July. But thank you, George. Is there a necessity to have a Cable Action Committee meeting today?
No.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's a big job.
PEG committee meeting, try saying that fast. PEG committee, okay. Ray is not here today, but we are going to have a meeting afterwards because Steve Rhoda would like to address us, correct?
Yes, as far as I understand.
So we'll have a PEG committee meeting. Personnel committee meeting, I don't think there's anything further to address, Jim, correct?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, thank you very much. Item 10, Executive Director's Report, Kathy.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've listed the complaints that we received in the last month and a half. There's 4. Really, this time of year, what we see are the problems with the wires and drops and, people finding cable lines on their lawn and having problems with, their being able to mow their lawns and things like that. So most of these have dealt with that, and those are closing. There's one where Comcast has got had put a temporary drop, and they have to come back and put a permanent drop in, and that relates to updates that they have performed in their on their network for the last few months. So they will be coming back to that Beverly Hills property to deal with that. And then there was a Birmingham resident who had some service issues, and those have been resolved. I will say that our new Comcast representative is extremely responsive, so we're happy about that. When there's always a change in position, you never know. But this new person is extremely responsive. Like, within the day, I hear back from her. So we've been very happy with the situation there. The fund balances I gave you, you all have copies of that. The other reports that I normally have, I'm still working something out with Beverly Hills, and their auditor had to come back with some more information. Looks like we're going to be able to resolve that this week, hopefully. And so next meeting, I'll have the full gamut of reports, but at least you have right here the fund balances. I've listed the checks that I wrote. We had to pay Bloomfield for their quarterly contract payment, and the rest are just more in the category of equipment and just other minor things. The quarterly contract payment is the big one for $77,075. And then as far as additional notes, and Chris, I don't know if you want to speak on this, Chris reached out to me and said, hey, we got this issue where we're not getting all of our channels, and the problem was that Comcast was negotiating with Scripps Broadcasting and couldn't reach an agreement on price. So that situation continued for a while. It has now been resolved. They will be crediting customers who were affected and didn't get all the channels that they were supposed to get, and the average refund is going to be about $9.62, but it's something. And at least it's been resolved and all the channels are back on Xfinity. And that's all I have for this month.
Any questions for Kathy? Okay, thanks, Kathy. Item 11, provided related topics. We don't have a member from Comcast, AT&T, or WOW present this morning. So we'll go to item number 12, which is the BAPA-BAMA report, and Greg Black's going to give that this morning. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, everyone. I did pop out just now to introduce myself to Carissa, and I thought I'd just add that while some of the equipment used for broadcasting a TV show does overlap with what I'll call live event coverage gear, it's not always universal, and it's only maybe in the last 2 or 3 years that we started acquiring some of what I would call live event gear. So we do have some smaller speakers and a microphone and a mixer. I'm not sure how big the space they'd be looking at doing a movie in is, but we do not have an LED wall or anything like that. But I did grab the quote from Carissa so we could investigate, what a cost like that might look like on your end or our end or however it may move forward. So nothing that's probably going to happen immediately, but something that we've got on our radar now.
Thanks, Greg. That's great.
Steve prepared his usual memo, which I think you all had in the report, so I won't delve too deep into it other than to say that we did complete all the regularly scheduled municipal meetings, as well as a couple of special meetings for Franklin and a couple of Birmingham Commission workshops. You can see the community area producer shows. Also, we had 10 spring sporting events that were covered. I think at the time Steve submitted his memo, we've since done 1 girls soccer game and 1 girls lacrosse game. The studio has been undergoing some renovations. The studio side is largely complete. Our office side will hopefully be wrapped up soon. So if you've been into the building before, it looks quite a bit different. Please come on and check it out. If you're new to the board and you've never been, it's a great opportunity to come in and check it out. The township does have a food truck Wednesday event from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. that'll kick off next Wednesday. It's every 2 Wednesdays, so I can get a schedule to the board. If you're ever interested in coming out, it's a good time to do it when there's a food truck because you can grab some lunch and dine in and check everything out. And then finally, it's not in Steve's memo, but we are covering the Village of Beverly Hills Memorial Day Parade on Monday. And with that, if you have any questions about the report or anything else, happy to
Any questions for Greg? Thank you very much, Greg. Good to see you.
Yep. Likewise.
Item number 13, old business. Any old business to take up? Kathy?
I don't know, I guess this is a little bit old business, but I forgot to mention in my report, we got a nice thank you note from Next based on the grant that we recently awarded them. And they're saying thank you for your confidence in Next to provide the programs and services our senior residents rely on to stay healthy and independent. As the senior population continues to grow, so does our commitment to our community, but it really does take a village. Thank you again for partnering with Next. So they are appreciative.
Nice to receive thank yous. Any other old business?
I noticed when I was at Next a couple weeks ago, they have a plaque there about, and it contains our logo, the board's logo, and something about was provided, this was provided by a grant from the board.
Yeah. Wow, that's great.
Whatever it was something that money that we gave them. Did we used to do that for places that, I don't remember us asking people to put plaques up.
No, I don't think we've ever asked.
It was a nice thing that they did that, but it looked like it was from
us.
The board.
It wasn't from us.
No, in fact, I didn't even know that it was there, so.
Okay, maybe that's something we should think about asking people to do. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Yeah, we probably should get some recognition.
Yeah.
But thanks for telling us. I had no idea that was occurring.
Yeah.
That must have been just put up, too.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll send the picture around to the board. I
Okay.
took a picture
Twice a
of
week.
it.
Great, thank you. Okay, any new business? Okay, no new business. Public comments. Sir, I see you out in the audience. Have something you'd like to address to us?
Well, I'm the village clerk to the Village of Franklin, Evan Mylan, and I did provide a letter to, I believe it was Miss White. We were requesting, now you said earlier that you might want to table any funding questions for another meeting, but we currently have an antiquated cable or a copper connection for our internet, and we're trying to update that into the 21st century so that we can stream our meetings and have continuous internet in our village.
Yeah.
So that is why I'm here, and
So that didn't make our packet.
Are you talking about the library request?
no, I'm from the
No,
village.
this is something different.
No, it did not make the packet.
I mean, you and I did email about it, and I was told and I was sent this, so.
Yeah, that's on me. So next meeting, July, we'll put it on
In
the
July,
agenda.
all right. Well, thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
See you in July.
No one else from the public? Mr. Aboud, good to see you. Have anything you'd like to say?
Oh, I sure do.
Okay. Now's the chance.
Right.
Now's the
So
chance.
first and foremost, I wanted to thank the board and in particular the Personnel Committee for recognizing Kathy, and I think it's important to be able to make sure that everybody is compensated, not only compensated, but just being thankful for what they do and what they bring to the cable board. A couple of, just a house cleaning. I know that during our council meetings, and this is more for Steve in the back, but the microphones keep coming in and out, and I don't want to complain. I'm more of a communicator than a complainer, but I think it's something we need to take a look at as far as the microphones. It's been an ongoing thing for each meeting, so I just thought I'd bring it up. And then speaking of Next, I'm also the liaison to Next, and I happen to sit on the Senior Advisory Council. I was a past chair and current member for the last 14 years. So I think Next is obviously a great entity. We have over 600 members that visit Next from the Village of Beverly Hills. And I think it's important that you get that kind of recognition and then you give them the accolades and have that reciprocating relationship. I think is important. And then as a side note, I looked up the fact of the big LED screen. I think typically the rental cost would be $4,000 to $10,000. I think somebody mentioned that, and I think that's a great idea because if you were to go to purchase a new one, you're looking at closer to $30,000 to $60,000. So I would rather spend the $4,000 to $10,000 would be more feasible. So thank you for that. Higman?
I'm D.E. Higman, yes.
Thank you, sir. So if you bear with me, I just have 5 minutes, if that's okay, just kind of allowing me the things that I've been kind of researching and doing, and it's all for the community's sake, and more importantly, for how the digital divide is, and I keep beating up on that issue, but I'll just start with this. And by the way, just forgive me because I have to prepare my speeches. I have 6 different emails and a lot of boards and committees that I sit on, so my mind is always faster than the way I speak. But as the communication landscape continues to rapidly evolve, I just wanted to raise a few forward-thinking questions regarding the future role of the Birmingham Cable Board and the broader impact emergent technologies that may have on our member communities, including the Village of Beverly Hills, which is the village that I serve for the past 12 years, by the way. Traditionally, cable boards were established primarily to oversee cable television, franchise agreement, and public access programming. However, with declining cable subscriptions and the continued rise of streaming services, fiber connectivity, AI technologies, cloud computing, and data centers, I believe there's an opportunity to begin discussing on how board may evolve in the years ahead. And I think you mentioned that regarding the decline of the PEGs and so on and so forth. And I had an opportunity to go to 123Net, which is a data center in the city of Southfield, and rather than sprawl and take land, what they're doing is they're taking buildings over and creating 8 floors of data centers, and we had the Southeast Michigan Council of Government, which I sat on an executive committee. We went there to look at that because there's a lot of issues going on with data centers, not just in the state of Michigan, but all over the country. So one question I would ask, as traditional cable television subscriptions continue to decline nationwide, how does the Birmingham Cable Board envision redefining its long-term mission and value to member communities? Let's just ponder on that, and I don't expect any responses today, because this is just, my liaison comments. Should the board evolve into a broader communication, broadband, and digital infrastructure authority? And the answer would be absolutely yes, but I will leave that to the cable board. From my perspective, the future role of the cable board may naturally expand beyond traditional cable oversight into broader digital infrastructure leadership, including broadband access, streaming communication, fiber connectivity, cybersecurity awareness, and community digital engagement. Another important consideration is how will the explosive growth of AI, cloud computing, regional data centers impact broadband capacity, fiber infrastructure demands, and energy consumption with Southeast Michigan communities. So as we all know, data centers are becoming the backbone, and I kind of elaborated on that a little earlier. And I think there's somebody from Shark Tank that's creating the largest data center in Utah, and to give you the magnitude of how big this data center is, it creates like a dome of the electricity that they're consuming to get 125 atom bombs worth of energy, and that's what's happening. And I think if you look it up, you'll see who I'm talking about. But these are becoming the backbone of our digital economy. This is AI. This growth will likely place increasing demands on fiber networks, electrical capacity, and a resilient infrastructure. Communities that proactively prepare for these technology shifts, I think we're going in and out, shifts may position themselves more competitively for future economic development opportunities while also addressing sustainability and utility concerns. Another third question, and I'm getting to the end here, how can the cable board help municipalities like the Village of Beverly Hills, Franklin, Birmingham's, and Bingham Farms transition from legacy cable system, fiber first and wireless first communication networks? Potentially, the board could serve as a valuable regional resource for education, infrastructure planning, grant opportunities, and collaboration between municipalities as communication technologies continue evolving. And lastly, as younger generations like my 28 and 36-year-old who always take my phone away from me when I'm asking them a question, they don't explain how to figure things out, but they just kind of, I'm a laggard, but I'm also an early adopter, so any technology they get, I usually get the hand-me-downs from them. But anyway, in my opinion, local government may need to continue expanding beyond traditional cable channels by utilizing streaming services, podcasts, on-demand video content, interactive digital communication tools to better engage residents of all generations. And I think last time I spoke regarding the aging infrastructure, or the aging population, which is the distinguished population that we're called nowadays. There's no more seniors here. But I believe these are important long-term discussions, not only for the future relevance of cable boards, but also for how local governments, like myself, adapt to rapidly changing digital environment. Thank you, that's all I have. But before I go, I'd like to just thank all those who gave up their lives and the families that raised these people to fight for our country and make us what we are today, the best free country in the world. Thank you. So enjoy your Memorial Day weekend, and thanks for allowing me the time to come here and speak.
Thank you, Mr. Aboud. We really appreciate it. Okay, any other board comments this morning?
Gil, did we actually vote on the budget? Did we vote on it?
Oh, no, we didn't. We didn't. Back it up.
Oh, you want me to back it up?
No. Kathy pointed out we did not vote on the budget, and I'm sorry, that's my fault, because I kind of took this in that we were going to listen to Rick first.
Yeah.
Rick wanted us to vote on the budget because we can always amend it later on. But we need to get a budget in place because it goes into effect next month, and we don't have another meeting until July.
Oh.
All right, so understanding that, we're going to go back, we're going to take a vote. We're going to do, we're going to do it by roll call, but understand that we can amend this, all right, as we go along, but we have to have something in place. So Gail, you want to call the roll, please?
Randy Hageman,
Aye.
Jim Cleary,
Yes.
George Abraham,
Yes.
Pete McDonald,
Yes.
Gil Gugny,
Yes.
Chris Dobie,
Yes.
Deanna Brown.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. Thank you very much for Kathy. Okay, any other board comments?
I have one.
Chris.
These microphones that Mr. Abood brought up, are they village property or are they the cable board's property?
I believe this is village property, correct?
So I think the proper channel, Mr. Abood, would be to have, like Carissa put together a proposal like she did with the LED screen. So there's nothing that we're going to do with these because we don't own them, so that would be for the village to bring something to us.
Great to bring that to our attention because we didn't know actually who owned what, but that's a great thing.
Okay. Okay, great.
Rhoda does a lot of tech support when issues like this arrive, so he'll likely look into it as well, out the gate here.
Great.
Great. Good question, Chris.
If it was an issue that required funds to replace or something, that's, where they would come to you.
Yep, and this would be right in our wheelhouse, too. So, any other comments? Okay, then we are adjourned.